Hi, my name is Shonda, and I want to talk about the issues or the issue that is plaguing our society and our young people, and that is the violence in video games. Do you think video games have become too violent? Well, many researchers have found out that those who play video games, violent video games, that is, for a long period of time, do begin to demonstrate uh, an aggressive behavior. In 1967, when video games first arrived on the market, there wasn't a concern about violence until 1990, until 1980, or around the 1980s. As technology progressed and advanced, better gaming consoles were developed, like Sony PlayStation and Nintendo. This is when violence in video games became a big issue for most people. Violence, video games with violent materials and images make children more assertive and hostile. Uh, video games, the violence in video games has tripled in the past 25 years. These games focus more on physical force by hurting and killing people, and the violence in video games do promote unkind, cruel and selfish and malicious behavior in children. Therefore, a child's performance uh, is negative in all areas of their lives. The violence in video games, one, is destructive to a child's behavior. Two, it causes them to be hostile. And three, aggressive toward other people. Children as young as 5 years old are exposed to violence in video games, which is very damaging to their mental capacity. Uh, and the reason why I say this is because the violence in video games is a game, and children in their mind is fun. So then that makes them believe that killing folks or killing people is fun, and even carrying guns and shooting people is fun. The perfect example is what happened in Columbine in 1999, where these two young guys went into the high school and murdered 13 people, turning the guns on themselves, and also wounding 23. And when everything was said and done and over with, these guys played this bloody shooting game called Doom. And this game is also licensed by our U.S. military to train our soldiers to kill more effectively. The violence in these video games are harmful and very threatening to our young children's state of mind. And because the violence in video games, the crime has tripled in the U.S. tremendously. And once again, the exposure to the violence in video game is damaging to our young children, to our children, um, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And the violence in video games do cause depression, and researchers even said addiction. And we can see right now what's happening in our society. Most of our young people have no respect for authority or the law. And it seems that most of parents continue to pacify their children by purchasing these violent video games. But us as parents, we are the protectors. We are to protect their mind, their state of mind. And we must monitor what our children eat, what they watch on TV, and the uses of video games. So parents, what are you going to do about it? Us as parents, what are you going to do? Because the violence in video games is out of control, and it's up to us, parents, uh, fathers, mothers. It's up to us. What are we going to do about this? The violence